Others celebrated Valentine's Day today. There were flowers, but a moment of silence and a memorial service in South Florida. This is how families of those killed in the Parkland school massacre marked Valentine's Day today. It was 5 years ago when 17 people were killed and 17 more were injured. Pinellas County Sheriff Bob Gualtieri heads the statewide safety commission that they created right after the shooting, and they made dozens of recommendations to tighten our school security.
But as Fox 13's Evan Axelbank reports, 5 years later, the sheriff says there's only so much even an overhaul can do.
Sheriff Bob Gualtieri remembers where he was the moment so many lives, including his own, changed.
I looked at it and said, well, that's terrible. It's in Florida, but of course it's the other end of the state.
Within weeks, he was summoned by the legislature to chair the 13-member Marjorie Stoneman Douglas Safety Commission.
We haven't had another Stoneman Douglas, and I think that we can say that the measures we've put in place have at least contributed to that.
They've required single entry points, fences, communication upgrades, panic buttons, locked doors, and insisted on officers at every school.
There was a big gaping hole in Florida, as there is still in many parts of the country.
The next step, he says, is for the legislature to beef up how districts gather info and assess potential threats. One bill would even make public safety-related incidents, evaluating them in 26 different categories.
How are you going to know what's going on? That's by the data, and if the data's not right, then you have a hard time assessing it. And parents also being able to assess school culture and climate. Do I want to send my kid to this school?
He also says some departments, without naming them, still need to build procedures for responses to mass shootings. He does have a dose of reality that will sober anyone up.
We will never prevent these. The reality is it's going to happen again, and the always looming question is when and where. And as Michigan found out last night, is that they were next.
Michigan will go through a grieving and legislative process, just as Florida has.
We are making the schools safer, and we're meeting those parents' expectations that when they send their kids to school in the morning, the kids are coming home safe in the afternoon. And that's what it's all about.
The impact of the deadly 3 minutes and 51 seconds at Parkland will be felt forever. Evan Axelbank, Fox 13 News.
Gualtieri says the fact that the Parkland shooter did not get the death penalty shows that Florida needs to reform its sentencing laws. Governor DeSantis has proposed bills that would allow a judge to overrule a jury's decision and for a verdict that isn't unanimous to still result